Check, 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 check. Okay. We in it?
Yeah, we're in it. All in it.
This is the Happiness podcast project.
The tip?
Just a tip.
Just a tip.
And so the thing that I get most from people is like, A, why did you decide to do a podcast? And B, how do you do a podcast? And there's a bunch of tutorials out there of like, how do you do it? And technically, I want to go over some of the technical aspects and what do you actually need to start and how hard is it? But I also want to just say what in my past and what I did in my past helped me to do some of the stuff that I do. And I want to ask you what in your past helps you to do some of the stuff you do.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the first thing you have to do a podcast, Scott?
The first thing you need to have
Number
to
one
do a
thing you have to
podcast?
have.
Number one, you just need to have a phone to begin with.
Okay.
Start recording. But if you want to upgrade your equipment, then I suggest having a professional audio recorder. There's many kinds, but the one that we use is called the Zoom H6. And a lot of people use this recorder. Tim Ferriss uses it.
Tim Ferriss.
Tim Ferriss. And just a lot of people that are into podcasting use this because it's just the sound quality. I mean, you're listening to us right now. The next thing is, of course, you need the microphones. You need the stands because the stands and the microphones. The stands keep the microphones elevated so you don't hear any like jitter that's coming, vibrations going through the microphone.
Okay.
So the sound sounds clear.
But you can use lab mics too, right?
You can use lab mics. The thing with lab mics, though, it gets a lot of ambient environment sound.
Oh, okay.
So there's kind of like, you'll hear this, it's just not crisp. You don't hear only the voice. You hear a lot of environment sounds. The next thing you would need, of course, are these XLR cables. And all of our links for the products are down below. And that'll teach you how all the necessary equipment you need to start a podcast. Those are affiliate links, by the way. So, this helps support the show.
Please.
Got 0 on those yet.
Yeah.
But anyway,
awesome.
So
thanks for the support.
So definitely Zoom H6, the microphones, the stands. Then the next thing you would need is, of course, a computer to edit your sound on. The free sound that you can download. Damn, I forgot what it was called. Full Audacity. Audacity is the program.
The Audacity.
But as you've noticed, we use video as well. Mm-hmm. So the reason why we use video is because not only do we get sound, but we also get video content for YouTube, which I still believe that we need to eventually put our only sound on
everywhere,
like iTunes and shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you got Zoom H6, the microphones, you got the stands. Next is the camera. The camera, you really don't need to have a high-end camera. Just enough that you can record more than 15 minutes.
Yes.
At least more than 15 minutes.
A half an hour preferably at a time.
Half an hour. Now the cameras nowadays, you can record over half an hour. Before, like a few years ago, they had basically taxed cameras that were recording over 29 minutes and 59 seconds as movie cameras, like movie studio cameras. Right. So they got taxed higher. That's the reason why they cut off at 30 minutes. But now they actually go beyond that. So that's why I say a simple camera is really all you need. And the next step is getting some lights so you can light us up and you don't get all the static. It looks nice and clear.
Nice and even. And all of this setup that you're talking about how much would that cost if you're going like budget? Maybe just one light, a nice camera. So the camera's going to...
A nice camera?
So let's say the camera, what do you have there? XLR?
That's a T7i DSLR. Canon. And so like this model right now, you can get it for a bundle. And like I said, the link's down below. It's about $700.
Okay.
That's one of the higher ones one.
Right.
But that SX620 Canon, that's only probably about like $170 now.
Right.
Like literally. And you're not really going to get the sound from that camera. It's just kind of like backup sound. But all the sound that you want is from the Zoom H6.
So I would say the most important thing is to have, even if you just had the $179 camera, because you want to go visual, it's just to have the Zoom H6 and the microphones.
Exactly.
All right. So now, like, as you noticed, that was a very technical, nerdy aspect. Hella technical.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you get the tripods here. You got
tripods. Yeah. So now ask me the same question.
Wait. Hold on, though.
Oh, shit.
You got to have the power bank, too, because you don't want to rely everything on AA batteries.
Yeah.
You rely everything on AA batteries, your sound could just cut out. It'll stop. Like, you'll lose power. So that's the reason why you have the power bank.
But we've had hella sound issues before.
A lot. And then now, if you don't want to spend $300 for this Zoom H6, which I know it can be a pretty penny, You can do $150 for the Zoom F1.
Mm.
And then you get like the attachment that allows you to do, if you want to do it like just a single person podcast. So anyway, that's just another suggestion. So now
ask me the same question.
Exactly what am I supposed to ask you? Making content?
First question I asked you. Just the question I asked you.
How do you start a podcast?
You have a fucking idea.
Okay.
First thing you have to do is actually know what you want to do a podcast about and start developing that ideal before you do anything. Now, the ideal can change, and it can be whatever you want. It could be this. You can focus on something, and like we used to focus on something. We don't really focus on small business entrepreneurs anymore. We just just get together and talk shit.
We somehow focus right into politics.
Yeah.
Since we've been doing our best.
Because if you want to talk about shit, politics is the shittiest thing in the world.
Technically, the first episode of Entrepreneurs, barring our episode, we actually Kip and
they talked about politics.
They talked about politics.
Yeah.
So it's just been the theme.
We had no choice. But just to basically, you have to understand what do you want to talk about. Right.
And actually be passionate to talk about it.
Yeah, and be very honest with yourself about how you're going to go about it. So for instance, if you want to have guests, and there's one of the things we went through was having guests for a while, and I'm still open to have. I mean, in Mongolia we had guests all the time.
Yeah, we had a lot.
And so I'm open to having guests, but if you want to have guests, make sure that the guests are going to be just as passionate about being on your podcast and help you as you are about having them on your podcast. So don't have a guest on your podcast that they're going to sit down with you and never help you promote it, especially when you're starting off. The second thing you have to have is patience. You have to have patience and belief in the process, and make sure that you fix something every time you shoot. So this is probably going to wind up being our 53rd, 54th podcast, something like that. Yeah. And with little over a year, but every time we started doing it, I had to make a note, and Scott made a note that, okay, we got to fix this. Okay, we got to fix this. Okay, we got to fix this. Don't try to fix everything, but try to fix something important one at a time. And so what Scott's talking about is the technical part, and I'm talking about starting a podcast, but the mentality you have to have. You have to. The last thing I'm going to say is don't be afraid to ask for what you want. Just go up to people. I just go up to people and tell them, I really want to film at your restaurant, dude. When can we do it?
Yeah, because at first we record at Nueve in San Bruno, next to YouTube, actually.
Right next to YouTube.
Kind of funny.
And then now we record at Peninsula Self-Defense. And literally, I'm
very fortunate.
But you have to ask. You have to have a place to record. You have to have an idea to record. You have to have a place that's quiet if you're going to report. If you're going to record content like we're doing when we're talking about.
Which is funny because it's a what is it called? The Autobahn Speedway out here.
Yeah.
Lately,
last time it was. It's a little better now. Or if you're going to be on the street and let's say you're going to record in front of someone's shop, you got to have enough balls to go inside of their shop and say, hey, I'm going to record my content for YouTube here. Is it cool? Because you don't want the guy to come out and say, well, fuck you, get out from the front of my shop while you're recording. If, what's your strategy? Are you going to live stream? Are you going to live record stuff and just upload it really quick? Are you going to live stream stuff on Facebook? What medium are you going to use? All of this stuff is like what you need to think about before. How you start a podcast is while you're getting your equipment, you have to multitask. You have to start putting together an idea. And then don't be scared just to shoot it. If it's in your living room, if it's in a car, like we shot a podcast in the car driving to Sifu Singh. What's up, Sifu Singh? We shot a podcast driving. Don't be afraid to shoot. The more you shoot, the better it gets.
And another thing I say about this is that you can do guerrilla tactics, which is you can literally film inside of your closet, put a background like a black backdrop or a white backdrop, and it's just simple. You don't have to have a specific location. And another thing is most people are not watching video if they're doing podcasts. They're listening to the voice. So the video is kind of like the added touch, the added flavor.
But for us, it's really weird because if anything's wrong with our video, we get comments like, "Oh, the video was shaky." So it's like,
you always get that one person.
Yeah.
But but I technically, I like the technical side of the video stuff, so I enjoyed that.
But
important voice is the most important.
So now we are to the point where we started a podcast. Take us through a little the issues with editing that you have.
Issues with editing?
Yeah.
Well, the first few podcasts you're going to do, actually, Good point. Because I was thinking about this about like a couple minutes ago. Is I forgot to mention you also need headphones.
Yes, because our first wow.
So I think that's actually kind of good that I forgot about it, because in our first episode, second episode, Wantrepreneurs, first episode we used lavalier mics.
Yeah.
Which you could hear like the sound from the bar. If people were cleaning up the kitchen. It was kind of horrible. For me, it was perfect. Like it was horrible. I kind of have ADD, so my mind was going all over for all the different sounds. But if you don't have the headphones, you can't hear if the volume has blared out.
Right.
The correct terminology. Well, when it hits the red zone, and basically the volume sounds like it's just scratchy. It's just basically pumped. It's exploded. It's an exploded sound. And you need to have the headphones, because then you can hear it, you can moderate the volume, and you can bring it back down the pitch into the green levels. So make sure you have the headphones.
Yeah. So like when you're editing
is fairly simple. Like if it's a podcast, you really don't need to do too much.
But what would they like? Where would they get tips on editing? Would they just go to YouTube?
I learned everything on YouTube.
So
everything on YouTube,
right? And this is the biggest thing. Like I was talking to somebody, and they were saying like, oh well, I don't think you have the technical skills to do this job, and I was like, yeah, but I can learn today.
Yeah.
And so like
most jobs are like that nowadays.
Right. Most things are. And so a lot of times when people are like, I'm going to give you a tip, when people are interviewing you for a job and this and that, and they're trying to say, well, how does your experience relate to this? Experience is experience. If you're experiencing managing people, then you know people. If you're experiencing managing projects, then you know how to project management. You just need to know the typical ins and outs of what this is going on here. And I think it's kind of a misnomer and a disservice that people do. And they leave a lot of good people on the table by saying, well, they don't have the experience to do it like this. Like, do you really want someone to hit the road and running exactly what their old ways that they were doing at an old job when you're a new company? Or do you want them to come in and purely adapt to how you want to do things and then use their experience in that way? So it's not a big deal with them not having all of the skills, in my opinion, of what they need. Like this podcast, a lot of people are like, I don't have a broadcast in journalism. I have a broadcast in retail management. But so how does retail management help me with this? Well, I used to have to talk to a crew of 50 people every morning. And I used to have to articulate and have a plan of exactly what I wanted to say. And that 15 minutes, 5 days a week, really helped me prepare to be able to talk on this mic and be able to say things. And I had to answer questions from people. When I do seminars, I have a question and answer session, and I have to answer questions from people and go. And, you know, it's just one of those things where just interacting with people really helped me with that.
So I got to say is to give you guys motivation. My interests are more into spirituality, metaphysics, psychology, mindset, things like that. And if you notice, our show is mainly about politics. So if I can do a show about politics, which I do enjoy the political theater, the drama. And I really like most of the time, half the time, I probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But you know what? It's the fact is that I'm doing it. Right. And it doesn't basically put your ego to the side and just speak your truth. And whatever your perspective is on that particular subject matter is going to be beneficial to someone. Someone's going to relate to it. Someone's going to connect to it. So it's just a matter of putting out the content, putting it out, and putting your own spin on it.
And one of the things I think is important, like if you're doing something political, that's a fresh perspective of somebody who doesn't like politics.
Exactly.
But in going to it, like me, I'm not. Well, actually, I've been like I meditate.
You're kind of spiritual. You just kind of leave it on the down low.
Yeah, but like things that I'm interested in is like, you know, beef, steak, porn, beer, weed. I don't know. Shrooms. My mom's sitting here does it. Jesus Christ, I raised him like this. No, but what I really like to do is honestly, I like to talk to people. That's my biggest interest in life, is to have conversations with people. I literally traveled around the world for years having conversations with people, and it's amazing what you learn, and it's amazing what people will tell you about themselves. And so
then that really comes down to the basics of like just connecting with people.
Yes,
because that's what I enjoyed. Like we talked to a variety of people in Mongolia, whatever. That wasn't even about politics or anything, and it was a fun experience. It's just fun just to record and do it.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, our vlogmentaries, they're edited about like 90%. You just have to do some finishing touches on it.
Yeah. So and my part is actually lagging. I can't decide on the music, and I can't decide on what to say.
He's like, I don't trust you the music process.
I don't, dude, because I don't want no. It
would not be. It would not be. I would fit it exactly to how I edited it. On my channel, it would be more like that. But on this channel, it wouldn't be. But yeah, that one's coming out.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And just to say something, don't be afraid to achieve stuff.
And don't be afraid to create.
Yeah. Like,
and speak your truth.
And when things pop up when you're doing it, and this is the biggest thing, because we've gone through all the technical stuff, but we just did a totally improvised segment that we thought was funny. You can't be scared to do it. So you want to be prepared, but you don't want to do something because you're not prepared.
Yeah.
You want to have your opinion on stuff because you know what? People are crazy anyway, and we're assholes in the way that we have opinions on shit we don't know about all the time.
So to add on to that, one of our better performing episodes, maybe not have a lot of views, but high retention rate where people stayed on to watch that video, was our secret Facebook groups. So if you haven't seen that, you got to watch that one.
Titties on my timeline.
That was totally technically we improvised the whole time. Most of the time, our production is trash.
Our pre-production is ass face, dude.
He was like, go read some information on your phone while you're in the toilet over there.
So it's like,
prep for the show a little bit.
Hold on, let me take a deuce before this. Take your phone with you and read something.
But literally, like, just it's improvisation, and you find something that's
that
funny.
Segment was shitty.
But it's like even that, like we do talk about politics, but then you can spice it up with a little something else
and have fun with it.
It's all about perspective.
Have fun, and remember, when you have 4.5 viewers, appreciate them.
We had 17. Now it's
17. Now we have.
We just lost 13 and 0.5.
No, but and be very patient with your viewership growing. That's the last thing I'm going to say. And appreciate your viewership growing. So a lot of times people are like, man, I don't have like you're like, oh, I'm gonna need I'm gonna need 500,000 people subscribing to me right away. And it's like, why do you need 500 people subscribing to you right away?
The thing is, if you have like right now we have over 200 people.
Yeah.
If those 200 people truly are true fans of your show.
Yeah.
Love everything that you say. Not love everything you say, but at least engaging commentary.
Yes.
In conversation with you. The high rate of engagement. And then spreading the word around about your podcast. To me, I believe that depth, which Gary Vee actually talks about, depth is better than width, which width is a bunch of followers and subscribers. But depth is how true the fan is and our connection with the fan.
And you have to appreciate good work. And if you do something good and it gets 21 views, you got to just shut up and realize that you did something good that gets 21 views. If you do something good that gets 353 views, you have to just, okay, so 353 views, there we go. I felt like it should have did better, but that's it.
Just keep producing.
Yeah, but you get 90 views, then it's 90 views. But you know what? Sometimes you mess around and you get 2,000-3,000 views on something. You're like, why is this so popular? I have no idea why this is popular. And you just got to shut up and go with it. I mean, we have like we have like 1,200 views on something, and let me tell you something. People are like 1,200 views. That's nothing. We have 206 subscribers.
And do you know how often we record?
Oh, not a lot.
So, I mean, that's one thing that I would say that we don't do. Practice what you preach.
Consistency.
Right? Consistency and volume of content. Like, I believe actually if I got my shit together, because my shit's all over the place, we could be producing a lot more content.
Yeah, we could probably
pump out content.
We could probably produce 2 podcasts a week easily. Because it doesn't take us so long to do it. But here's something right here that I've noticed about us. Even our podcast that we filmed a year ago get views every time.
Yeah, of course.
So people are going through and they're looking at our content. But that's kind of the biggest thing. Consistency. Just keep it rolling. Don't be afraid to shoot. And follow your dreams with this and do it like you're doing it for you.
Yeah. And
so don't be confined to like how, I'm doing great or it's not doing good. Like I had a troll and they're like, dude, all of this work and it was something like it's actually one of our bigger bigger items, but they're like all of this work and you only have like 100 views. And then like the next week it was over.
It was like
it was doing
over 1,000.
Yeah, and I was like, and I just replied, so you will deal with trolls. Like only thing I delete, and like here's the biggest thing. Like if you want to be organic, if you want to be organic, then don't delete negative shit. But if someone's like super racist, delete it.
Yeah.
You know,
and I also delete some of the automated ones.
Yeah, and,
that don't make any sense.
Any spam, delete it. But if someone's like just super duper
racist,
yeah, then I mean, because even our even something like we started off, we had like 1,000 views, then we had 12,000 views, and now we're like at 3,000 views of like the Conor McGregor reaction. And at the time we filmed this, we literally had 25 subscribers. And so
I think we might even have less.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, because that was a year ago. So that's you just have to sit there and kind of.
And that one was also on the whim.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I actually had just got back from Thailand, and I was super jet lagged, and we just sat down and did it and released it.
And the one that we actually did plan that did well was the Yang's policies.
Yeah, Andrew Yang's policies.
But like the ones that have done Marley well, I mean, you should be grateful and celebrate any small victories
and just do it.
And just do it.
Just do it because eventually
you do it just because you love to do it.
Yeah, because if you're doing it for views and likes, then you're actually just the Instagram hoe anyway.
Exactly.
And so since that's not my personality, I don't care.
Yeah.
All right.
So and another thing, here's another thing. So I've been working on my vlogs, and God, I've been so slow at working on them, but I enjoy making them. They're not really getting many views, but I like looking back at my stuff and go like, wow, I'm progressing.
Yeah.
And so when you're not getting a lot of views, well, the thing is, then you maybe should check your progress and then look at your game footage, which is your content that you've created, and see what you can improve and work upon. Because you never know if you keep working on it day by day, episode by episode, well, how's your episode's going to look like? How is your speaking abilities going to look at? How's your charisma on camera going to look like?
Yeah. How are you progressing
5 years from now?
Yeah.
And with all that content, 5 years from now, one of them might be that one.
Yep.
So that's all I got to say. Oh, make sure you like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Tap the bell for more notifications of our latest videos.
Tap the bell.
Comment, but I'm not sure. Well, are you going to start a podcast today? And what would the name be?
Yeah. So are you going to start a podcast? What the name would be? Did this help you? And podcasters, people who have podcasts, what did we forget? What was I crazy with like when I coming up with my content? Because I usually like do a lot of the content for this as far as just like
what are we
going to talk about?
Most of the time. Yeah. I do have serious ideas. The one that we dropped that I'm going to take the full blame for that I knew was going to do well was the Joker one.
Yeah, we were supposed to do Joker.
Yeah. That was.
I'm just happy I wasn't the only one who follows my dick around. Anyway. How does it feel? D'Angelo standing behind you.
I'm not going to say nothing about that.
He's like, it felt good. That's how it felt. It felt like penetration. You felt like the pastor. Streaming on YouTube.
Craziness. All right. Well, that's it.
All right, man. Boom. We're out. Shit. That was good.
Yeah, that was really good.
What time is it? 9